edition of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way, and then try and match his athleticism.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So we see it right here on the opening drive. Throwing the football in these snowing conditions is going to be very, very tough. You wonder if they're going to rethink the aerial attack going forward.
It will be interesting, and it'll be a debate, because most of the quarterbacks that we know, they believe they can throw through anything. They don't care if it's rain, snow, it doesn't matter, as long as they get a chance to throw the football. And I think a lot of coaches think that in these conditions, let's throw it early before things get worse.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Robinson's got it. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Rodgers. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Rodgers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Justin Madubuike able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. But someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Now Rodgers. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there, because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now a 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Got his man. It's Warren. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
for the successful field goal try. Here's Boswell to send it away. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll start by running the option to the right. He's still on his feet. He's on his way. And finally taken down at the 15. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Well, you know, most quarterbacks, when you talk about their big playability, you talk about the arm, but this, an absolutely huge play with a leg.
And also with his mind, because he had to see this play develop in order to make the decision to keep it and run. And how about him looking up and seeing the seas part for him once he got past the line of scrimmage? My first thought, I think he can go all the way, and I'm trying not to take over your call of this play, partner.
Again, Jackson will keep it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. Henry is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Hill. Touchdown, Baltimore. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They begin with Henry, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Second down and 8. Now Jackson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. This is Hill on the draw play. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll start the drive with Harris, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Justin Madubuike able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
That's caught. Allen Robinson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And able to pick up the 1st across midfield to the 47. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
It wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Second and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. And they'll run the option to start the drive. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper and second down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Now 2nd and 5. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Jackson. A dump off now to Hill. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He finds Robinson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 11 yards for number 11.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the 1st half.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. A 1st and 10 here, and if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, this hasn't really been a 1st half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
And again, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. On the return from his end zone, Godwin Igwebuike. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Now a first down carry for Harris. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. A handoff for Warren. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Adafe Owe there on the tackle.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Second and 9. Looking to throw. Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. On the give, this is Harris. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers.
No touchdowns for them in the first half, but their defense kept them in this ball game. So now, maybe this can loosen them up a little because they played tight so far, and they get right back in it with a touchdown run.
Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with the option, and he is going to lose yardage here. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Henry up the middle. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Flush to, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And you're starting to sense the momentum possibly changing just a little here. You get the touchdown in your previous drive, then you force a punt, and now this is a good positive play here to start this drive. And you can just sense the tide starting to turn here in a one-score game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Rodgers. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time it's 3rd and 3. Touchdown! DK Metcalf from 8 yards out. And the Steelers have taken a fourth quarter lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. They're going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively, and they need their best drive of the game right here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Hill. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
In motion, Aguilar. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice consistent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They go play action now. Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Jackson going to keep it running right.
The quick feet by Jackson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
So it's 1st and goal. Need to be a little wary of leaving Aaron Rodgers too much time, but you got to score here first. Jackson now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Isaiah Likely
From 4 yards out.
And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. But plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown on the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely.